911. What is the address? What's happening?
I have someone here that I need to be arrested in my home.
They're there right now?
I have a possible missing child. I have a 3-year-old that's been missing for a month.
A 3-year-old?
Yes.
Have you reported that?
I'm trying to do that now, ma'am.
Okay, what did the person do that you need arrested?
My daughter.
For what?
For stealing an auto and stealing money. I already spoke with someone. They said they would patch me through the Orlando Sheriff's Department and have a deputy here. I was in the car. I was going to drive her to the police station, and no one's open. They said they would bring a deputy to my home when I got home to call them.
So she stole your vehicle?
Yes.
When did she do that?
On the 30th. I just got it back from the impound. I'd like to speak to an officer. Can you have someone come out to my house?
Okay. Okay, I gotta ask you these questions so I can put them in the call, okay?
Okay.
30th of June?
Yes.
At the heart of this story lies the profound and timeless bond between a mother and her child. This bond, often described as one of the most powerful connections in human existence, encapsulates the depths of love, sacrifice, and protection that a mother feels for her offspring. From the moment of conception, through the trials and triumphs of childhood, to the complexities of adulthood, the relationship between mother and child shapes lives in ways that defy explanation. It is a bond forged in the crucible of shared experiences, laughter, tears, and unconditional support. Yet, within this intricate tapestry of maternal love, the Caylee Anthony case serves as a stark reminder of the fragility and vulnerability that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly unbreakable bonds.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago. The deputy sheriff saying I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. Her mother finally admitted that she's been missing.
Okay, what is
here now?
Okay, what is the address that you're calling from?
We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her.
Your daughter admitted that the baby is where?
But the babysitter took her a month ago that my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
When a child disappears, the reactions of parents are unpredictable. Some may panic, losing their composure entirely, while others withdraw, closing themselves off from the world. The response to such trauma varies greatly, making it difficult to predict how individuals will cope in such dire circumstances. However, amidst the uncertainty, there are certain actions that people can confidently say they would never take. The Caylee Anthony case unfolded amidst a maelstrom of emotions and scrutiny in 2008, when the disappearance of 2-year-old Caylee Anthony was reported by her grandmother, Cindy Anthony. What followed was a saga of suspicion, deceit, and tragedy that gripped the nation and dominated headlines for years to come. Initial suspicions surrounding Caylee Anthony were immediate and profound. Upon her initial report to law enforcement, her demeanor struck investigators as strangely composed and detached, seemingly at odds with the gravity of the situation. This raised red flags about her emotional connection to her daughter's disappearance, prompting investigators to delve deeper into the circumstances surrounding Caylee's vanishing. As the investigation progressed, a web of inconsistencies began to unravel in Caylee's narrative. Her claim that Caylee had been abducted by a nanny named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez was swiftly debunked, as no evidence of such a person's existence could be found. Furthermore, Caylee spun elaborate lies about her employment, including a fabricated story that she worked at Universal Studios. These falsehoods, coupled with her dubious alibis and questionable behavior during the time Caylee was missing, only served to deepen the suspicions surrounding her involvement. Forensic evidence discovered in Caylee's car further compounded the case against her. Traces of chloroform and signs of decomposition were found, raising alarming questions about what had transpired in the vehicle and casting doubt on Casey's innocence. Additionally, surveillance footage captured her engaging in activities that seemed incongruous with the behavior expected of a grieving mother, further fueling speculation about her role in Caylee's disappearance and presumed death. In the courtroom, the prosecution painted Casey Anthony as a manipulative and self-centered individual who prioritized her own desires over her daughter's well-being. They argued that Casey had suffocated Caylee with duct tape and disposed of her body near the Anthony family home in a bid to reclaim her freedom and independence.
This is the case of the state of Florida versus Casey Marie Anthony. However, it is time to tell the story of a little girl named Caylee. This isn't just a case about Casey Marie Anthony. It's a story about Caylee Anthony as well. Casey Anthony, Caylee's mother, appeared to all outward observers to be what her parents thought she was. A loving mother working hard to provide support for her daughter. But as the evidence in this case and the investigation into the background of Casey Anthony will show, that was an illusion.
However, the defense mounted a vigorous counter-argument, presenting an alternate narrative that suggested Caylee's death was the result of a tragic accident. Central to the defense's case was the allegation that Casey's father, George Anthony, had assaulted her, leading to Caylee's death. They contended that George had orchestrated a cover-up to protect the family's reputation, leading to the false portrayal of Casey as a callous and calculating murderer. Throughout the trial, Casey's defense team meticulously dissected the prosecution's evidence, highlighting inconsistencies and challenging the credibility of key witnesses in an effort to cast doubt on their client's guilt.
She never was missing. Caylee Anthony died on June 16, 2008, when she drowned in her family's swimming pool.
Defense attorney Jose Baez stunned the audience when, for the first time in 3 years, he alleged Caylee Anthony died as a result of accidental drowning, not murder. Then came another stunner. When Caylee went missing the morning of June 16, 2008, he says George and Casey split up to try to find her. As Casey went to the front of the family home, Baez says George Anthony discovered Caylee's lifeless body in the back, in the family pool, then blamed Casey.
And shortly thereafter, George began to yell at her. Look what you've done! Your mother will never forgive you, and you will go to jail for child neglect for the rest of your freaking life.
As Casey Anthony wept, Jose Baez alleged that George Anthony started sexually abusing her since age 8 and described in graphic detail how that alleged abuse went on for years. Casey, he said, was raised to lie. Baez admitted that Anthony did some stupid things and made up the story of Caylee being kidnapped by a babysitter, but that behavior, he said, was the result of, quote, the incredibly dysfunctional family in which she was raised.
She went back to that deep, dark, ugly place called the Nile to pretend as if nothing was wrong.
Without being specific, Baez went on to allege that the Orange County meter reader Roy Kronk, who discovered Caylee's remains, had put them there along Suburban Drive to collect on what he thought was a $225,000 reward. Baez told the jury, quote, he thought he had himself a lottery ticket.
In a stunning turn of events, Casey Anthony was acquitted of first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter, and aggravated child abuse charges in July 2011. While the verdict sparked widespread outrage and disbelief, Casey was convicted on 4 counts of providing false information to law enforcement officers, resulting in a 4-year prison sentence.
As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson. As to the charge of aggravated child abuse, verdict as to count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all. Dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson. As to the charge of aggravated manslaughter of a child, verdict as to count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So say we all.
The Caylee Anthony case continues to provoke discussions about parental responsibility, the complexities of the legal system, and the pursuit of justice. Despite the verdict, the circumstances surrounding Caylee's death remain shrouded in mystery, leaving a void of unanswered questions that continue to haunt both the Anthony family and the public alike.